First at 9.
Hello there, very good evening and welcome to your Primetime News Bulletin. I'm Shane Silva.
I'm Stephanie Lazarus.
France is set to put a resolution to the UN Security Council to place Syria's chemical weapons under international control so they can be destroyed.
Meanwhile, 4 men have been found guilty of a fatal gang rape of a student in New Delhi. The News First International Desk will have more details on that, but before that, let's take a look at the headlines.
Headlines on News First at 9.
US welcomes UN Human Rights Chief's visit to Sri Lanka. UNP needs to have a proper program to establish a government, a statement from Minister Dalasal Happeruma.
බන්දේසික තියලා මං හිතන්නේ නැහැ කවුරුත් ගණන් රාජ්‍ය බලයක් ගෙදරට පිළිගන්නවායි කියලා.
JVP's Amra Kumara Disanayaka comments on Patriots.
රටේ මහා පරිමාණ කුඩු ගෙනල්ලා එතනෝල් ගෙනල්ලා රට විනාශයට පත් කරනකොට මේ දේශප්‍රේමීන් නෝ කතා නෝසිනා.
Standard prices for soybeans and corn. Syria accepts Russian chemical weapons proposal.
Speaking at the 24th session of the UN Human Rights Council in Geneva yesterday, the US Permanent Representative Eileen Donoghue welcomed UN High Commissioner for Human Rights Navi Pillai's visit to Sri Lanka.
Welcome the High Commissioner's visit to Sri Lanka, where she examined outstanding human rights, justice, and democratic governance concerns. We urge the government of Sri Lanka to make use of the UN's offer of technical assistance in the coming months. To conclude, the United States is proud to stand with other governments to highlight the freedom of peaceful assembly and association across the world. This is a critical moment for the governments represented in this chamber and the United States to redouble our efforts to stand with civil society in pursuit of democratic progress.
Political Bureau member of the Standing Committee of the Communist Party of China, Liu Yunshan, called on President Mahinda Rajapaksa this morning at Temple Trees.
A communique issued by the presidential spokesperson and the international media unit said that during the meeting, the two countries reaffirmed their commitment to the strategic cooperation that was agreed upon during President Mahinda Rajapaksa's visit to China earlier this year.
According to the communique, President Mahinda Rajapaksa has told the visiting delegate that the two countries should act quickly to implement the agreements that were agreed upon during his visit to China in May 2013. Quoting Liu Yunshan, the presidential spokesperson and the international media unit said that the purpose of Yunshan's visit to Sri Lanka was to implement the agreements, thereby expanding cooperation between the two countries. During the meeting, Liu Yunshan had said that the government of China is always grateful to the government of Sri Lanka for its support. The communique reads that Liu Yunshan had said that the signing of a free trade agreement will bring economic cooperation between the two countries to a higher level, and that the economic development is presenting a very good momentum for cooperation in other sectors such as culture, science and technology. The communique adds that a high-level delegation accompanied Liu Yunshan during his meeting with President Mahinda Rajapaksa, including several vice ministers of the CPC Central Committee and China's ambassador to Sri Lanka. Minister Keheliya Rambukwella, Nimal Siripala de Silva and Lakshman Yapabe Wardana were among those present at the meeting.
This is News First, Election Headquarters.
The Election Secretariat notes that an additional 3 days have been allocated for state sector employees who were unable to cast their postal votes for the upcoming provincial council polls today.
If they are eligible postal voters who were unable to cast their ballots today, their postal vote packets will not be opened and will be brought to the respective district elections office this evening or tomorrow. If these voters would like to cast their postal ballots, they will have to go to the respective district elections office on either the 12th, 13th or 14th and cast their postal ballots from there. Meanwhile, Deputy Elections Commissioner M.M. Mohammed added that postal voting was conducted peacefully yesterday and today. This was also affirmed by the acting police media spokesperson SSP Ajit Rohana. The executive director of the PAFROL organization, Rohana Hettiarachchi, said that voter turnout was high. Meanwhile, the election secretariat says it has received 371 complaints pertaining to the northern, northwestern and central provincial council elections. The election secretariat says that 40 of these complaints were regarding violent incidents. The majority of the 331 incidents of election law violations have been reported from the Kurunegala district, with the number standing at 91.
The United People's Freedom Alliance today convened a media briefing to raise awareness on the party's preparation for the upcoming provincial council elections.
The deceptive election campaign of the United National Party has endangered democracy in the country. They need to understand that they cannot win elections by convening media briefings in Colombo or by initiating media operations. The Honourable Opposition Leader Ranil Wickremesinghe said the country would be under UNP government for the next anniversary. From 2014, we saw this being said at the 50th anniversary and the 51st anniversary too. He said it at the 57th anniversary, the 56th anniversary and the 62nd and the 60th anniversaries. But they need to have a program in order to do that.
බන්දේසික තියලා මං හිතන්නේ නැහැ කවුරුත් ගෙනල්ලා රාජ්‍ය බලයක් ගෙදරට පිළිගන්නවායි කියලා. සමහර උදවිය උත්සාහ කරනවා.
Certain groups are trying to incite problems and destroy the fraternity between the Muslims and the Sinhalese. They are conspiring. Certain people are causing trouble. Some are being paid off to work against the Muslim people. We are not afraid, but we want security. We want peace. I must say that we will give whatever support we can to the president to protect the peace. What are the shortcomings we have today? What are the shortcomings of this government? You may say it is the cost of living. The cost of living is a problem not only in this country but in every country. We cannot reduce it with such haste. We do not have the strength to do that. But the economy is strengthening today.
අපිට අඩු කරන්න පුළුවන් ශක්තියක් නැහැ. ආර්ථිකය අද ශක්තිමත් වෙනවා.
දැන් මැතිවරණ ව්‍යාපාරයක් තුලදී දේශපාලන පක්ෂයක් මැතිවරණ ප්‍රකාශයක් නිකුත් කළාම
in an election campaign, when a political party issues an election manifesto, and if we do not agree with its contents, we should not flee the battle. We must go there, fight on the battlefield and defeat that statement. Today, as the alliance, what we are doing in the north is fighting to defeat the TNA election manifesto.
Up next is a newspaper cartoon of the day, which we selected from amongst today's English newspapers. On the Gum at the program telecast on our sister channel Sirasa TV last night, villagers from the Kauduluara area in Rathamalagama, Tanamalvila, charged that electric fences erected in the area to keep out elephants are not being maintained.
However, this allegation was rejected by officials of the Department of Wildlife Conservation.
News First provincial correspondent in Tanamalvila, USA Bandara, visited the area today to ascertain the truth of the matter.
This is the Kauduluara area in Ranthambalagamma. The electric fences here are not functional. As a result of the electric fences not being in a functioning state, elephants from the Udawalawa National Park encroach on the villages of Hambegamua, Ranthambalagamma, Alutwawa, Mahapalassa and Kurulan Palassa. The electric fences in Kaudulara have not undergone any maintenance. Elephants encroach on villages every day, but the officials say everything has been fixed. There are electric fences, but they have been toppled in certain locations. They come here claiming to carry out maintenance work, but this is not done properly. It is being said all over the media that these have been constructed, but this is the fate that have befallen the electric fences. It is like an elephant toss. Elephants stream through here constantly. They topple the fences and go. We come here and put them up again. No one has put up a strong and durable fence.
When this story was aired on the primetime news bulletin at 7 p.m. on our sister channel Sirsa TV, the Minister of Wildlife Resources Conservation Vijit Vijayamuni Soisa, who witnessed the story, called News First shortly afterwards and was presented an opportunity to make clarifications during the bulletin.
This is what the minister had to say.
Although all preparations have been made to repair electric fences at Rathambalagama, we need a road with a width of 12 feet in order to do this. The fences are erected on the boundaries determined by the Forest Conservation Department, not us. It is not only in our boundaries, but within the boundaries of the Forest Conservation Department too, you can find wild elephants. There is a jungle area of about 3,000 acres that comes under the purview of the Forest Conservation Department. On one hand, if we do this in an ad hoc fashion, the habitat of the elephants will be restricted. And on the other hand, when building this road, we will have to remove trees, and this must be done by the State Timber Corporation, which also numbers the trees that are felled. But now, since we need to include these 3,000 acres, there has been a delay in this matter.
News First questioned the minister on the rejection of allegations made by villagers at the Gum at the program by wildlife officials.
There are various allegations, views and ideas, but we must do what is right. I always try to be true and do what is right. We have a similar problem in Anapallama, where there is an 800-acre plot of land that comes under the purview of the Forest Conservation Department and is located adjacent to the Palwatta sugar factory. In lands like these, elephants move around in herds. We do not have the ability to remove all the elephants in an area spanning 3,000 acres. If we try to put up these fences on our boundaries, then we come face to face with these elephants, and at times like that, they will definitely try to cross over, dragging the fences with them. We need to put up the fences in a clean, safe and secure manner.
The National Water Supply and Drainage Board says that there is a need to increase enthusiasm among the people of Ratupaswala and surrounding areas to obtain piped water.
The people of Ratupaswala say that they will switch to piped water if it is provided to them minus the preliminary cost.
Steps were taken prior to this by the National Water Supply and Drainage Board to provide pipe water to the people of Ratupaswala and surrounding areas following mass protests over drinking water. The National Water Supply and Drainage Board says that pipelines have been laid in the area and that the people can now obtain water from the grid. The National Water Supply Board has now supplied water for the Ratupaswala area. Water is now flowing through the pipes that have been laid there. We have issued the people with request forms for water supply connections. We do not have the strength to pay money for it. Our expectation is to not have to pay for it. Although pipes have been laid, we cannot pay for it. We ask that the water be provided as relief, minus the preliminary cost.
We cannot pay for the water. From the time of our fathers and grandmothers, we have drunk spring water. We cannot pay for water now that those Fortishire springs have been destroyed. We live amid much hardship. We work from one day to the next. In this situation, how are we to pay for the water? We were deprived of the water we had in the wells.
Although there is a pipeline on the road, it is pointless to us. Massive wells have been dug at a cost of hundreds of thousands of rupees. Now even they are pointless. The National Water Supply and Drainage Board says that no residents of Ratupaswala have submitted requests for piped water. We have distributed about 50 request forms among the public there. Once they submit the request forms, we will carry out an estimate and commence the supply of water. We have not received completed applications as yet. However, we are attempting to create enthusiasm among the public to obtain water via the district secretary and the respective Grama Niladaris.